The time has come. The time is now. It is Tardis Wiki Roulette. Here on the internet. Don't forget to like the stream. We had an episode of Doctor Who that came out, and I've already forgotten everything that happened in it. But let's talk about it at length. Hello. Hello. Xavier, why did it put you in a bad mood? Why did the new episode of hit British anime Doctor Who put you in a bad mood? The time has come, my little friends, to talk of other things. I want to show the average Silurian that episode. The world building for RTD2 is literally the worst I have ever had the misfortune to encounter. Please go off. This is Tardis Wiki Roulette, the show where we talk about the new episode of Doctor Who. I'll get the wheel up. Hopefully it will be a wheelie good episode. I don't have a lot to say and I don't think I can fit it all, but like, go on. So this guy stalks the old companion, then she loves him so much that she tries to cut him to out Unit, but Unit is so cool and great and never do any wrong, so he loses. Also, hi Ryan. The episode conflating Sandy Hook denialism with defund the police was an incredibly strange choice. Hongo, Infinity, Down, Darkhawk, and Dogecoin. Okay, I'll put all of those on the wheel as well. I do want to talk about the episode though, because I do have some thoughts on it. Seems like a lot of my sentiments are shared though. Right. Alright. Lucky Day TV. It's okay, because we have other stuff from Lucky Day. We don't need that. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, let's spin the wheel. Yeah, baby. I'm hoping I can say what I want to say with the chat filter. We've already done this one multiple times. Let's try again. We've done this one again as well. I think Alan is telling us something. Your old suggestions. 9/11. Black Mesa. Didn't everyone forget the Dalek kidnapping of Earth? Peak Doctor Who lore this page. Okay. Alright, the text reading Black Mesa was present on an interface at Unit in the 2010s. That's fun. It's fun that like Half-Life happened in Doctor Who. Black Mesa, named only as Black Mesa in The Magician's Apprentice, is a corporation from the Half-Life series of video games. Makes a cameo appearance in LEGO Dimensions in a level based upon Portal, which shares a universe with Half-Life. "9/11, the destruction of two towers and a terrorist attack changes the world. It reshaped politics, caused wars, increased Islamophobia, changed how movies depict wanted destruction." What I'm trying to say is the events of Series 4 would have radically altered the DWF. I completely agree. I completely agree. I mean, like... Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, don't you think it's interesting how, like, the absolutely dominant force in modern media is, at the end of the day, like, military-industrial complex propaganda? Like, that's what the Marvel movies are. Did you know that Marvel once did a crossover issue with Halliburton? Again, I'm pretty sure the shit with the Pandorica made them forget, though. Yeah, but the problem is, Kako Queen, that Russell recanonized everything that happened. Like, Russell made the rebooting the universe not happen. It doesn't matter anymore. Nothing that happened in the Moffat era actually happened now. It's been fully erased from continuity. They remember now for some fucking reason. He did, yep. Sack Russell T. Davis. See, here's where I stand on it. I think that it's weird that if we just look at RTD2, okay, let's just look at RTD2. Pretend the rest of Doctor Who doesn't exist, okay? If we just look at UNIT, this entire episode creates a black and white moral dichotomy between UNIT, who are the absolute good guys, and whatever his fucking face is, Alex Jones, who's an absolute bad guy, and is made absolutely irredeemable and irredeemably evil in order to highlight that UNIT are the good guys, okay? Bear in mind that the first time we see UNIT in RTD2, the first thing we see them do is black bag a journalist, who is just doing their job. I assume that guy is in El Salvador now. That's how they introduce UNIT, is like covering this stuff up and controlling the information. And so, like, there is a version of the story we got on Saturday where it's actually quite a morally grey and ambiguous conflict. But they had to turn him into an incel, because otherwise, if they don't do that, the entire ideological framework of the story collapses. I don't have a problem with What's-His-Face being a bad guy. I have a problem with Kate being perceived as a good guy. Yeah, what I'm saying, Kako Queen, is that they had to turn What's-His-Face into the baddest bad guy that ever existed. That ever existed. Okay, to justify Kate Stewart being a good guy, because it's the only circumstance where Kate Stewart is a good guy. To the point, if you hold it up to scrutiny, it literally falls apart. Yeah, it does. Like, they're just super good guy agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., etc. Exactly. The whole thing's a fucking mess. I don't know. It just doesn't vibe with me on, like, that level. I think the political messaging in it in general comes from a very neoconservative place. That was my main thinking throughout it. It's a very institutionalist form of Doctor Who, and I wasn't here for that aspect of it, like, at all. The way RTD2 does world building literally makes me question my enjoyment of the show. Yeah, I know. It's very weird. I think it's also weird that they made Conrad a product of content warning, by the way, because we're going to talk about parental abuse now. As a survivor of that, I found the Comrade's Start of Darkness. There's a joke there, ha 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 ha. Comrade's Start of Darkness, though, I found really, really insulting. Especially when midway through the episode they go like, oh no, actually his mom's alive and she's great. She's doing great. I found that very odd and insulting. All I could think when it turned out that he was the villain is that the message of the episode is hurt people, so you gotta get them preemptively. He should have had the good sense to not have had a mother like that, man. What a bastard. I thought that was very odd, because, like, you do something like that when you want to create a villain that's, like, sympathetic in some way. You do that when you want to feel for the villain. The only time that you do that, do what they did in this context, the only time I've seen that done is in, like, conservative media, to be honest. Like, it's a very cop show trope. I don't know, just the implication that, like, if someone is abused, then they're broken and they can never be fixed was very strange to me. I don't think it's what was intended. But it definitely soured my whole view of this. I will say that. I also I thought the acting was very good though, so I'll give it props for that. But yeah, no, I don't know. This didn't sit right with me. I don't really mind show building in Who personally, but I can definitely see how it can be an issue for some. It's just bad. Admittedly, I didn't pick up on the episodes of the politics of the episodes, and it makes me question my own critical thinking skills. No, because you were too busy thinking about the world building. There was a completely different shitty aspect of the episode that you were angry at. Yeah, the acting was amazing. It was amazing. And to be honest, the dude playing Comrade, like, was very charismatic. Too charismatic, I felt, for this role. One issue I have with it is that if you're going after like far-right conspiracy nuts, don't make them suave and cool and really formidable and, like, good at what they're doing. What are you doing? That's not what Alex Jones is actually like. That's not what Milo Yiannopoulos is actually like. Why are you gassing this character up so much? It's just another... If they don't look like Asmongold, you fucked up. I agree. I think I talked once before about, like, how it's problematic to portray Nazis as, like, these horrifying, industrialized machine supermen. And it feels like this has fallen into that same trope. Never trust a podcaster. No, you should trust live streamers instead, like me. But yeah, no, the whole thing felt very early 2000s in terms of how it approached its tropes. But Ryan, the mustache guy's mind was so powerful. What about the Redactive Girls? They're good podcasters, that's true. I feel like if he was a stooge for a higher power, it could have worked. Yeah, that could have worked as well. It's a tricky one, you know what I mean? It's a really tricky one. Because, like, the only ways to kind of make it workable would end up adding moral complexity to the conflict, and they absolutely refuse to do that in this story. So what are you gonna do? And then, like at the end of the day, like, we know, because of Doctor Who, we know that UNIT has committed genocide before. We know that UNIT has done enhanced interrogation on innocent people before. We know that UNIT has committed multiple war crimes. And we also know that UNIT does child labour. On top of everything else now, thanks to RTD2. So, what this ultimately boils down to for me is that this was meant to be a straw man to make UNIT look good. More than actually trying to tell an interesting UNIT story. I wouldn't have liked that though. It undermines what people are capable of, as instead of he's just Oh, they're being manipulated. Oh, I think that they should have had him be a fucking moron. I think if they're gonna do the unit Truther story, do that, but make him a fucking idiot. Make him barely able to tie his shoelaces together. The war crimes work on context, kid personnel. Kate should be a villain, I don't care. Kate is a villain. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like the whole thing was kind of very gross. I do not agree with the messaging in this episode. Kate should be a villain textually. Yes. People likely don't know about Sutek. That's true. That's true. I do think it's a bit unbelievable. I do think it's a bit unbelievable that, like, people know about aliens existing in this world now, but they don't care. I think that's a bit crazy to me. IMHR, most people wouldn't assume it was a freak sad store. No, most people would go, oh, it's them aliens again. I don't know, there's so many interesting stories you could tell that they're refusing to tell. And just for the sake of, like, keeping it in, like, this kind of status quo bubble. And I'm not sure if I'm here for that. I'm going to spin the wheel again, see what we land on. I mean, they would. Yeah, but it would be more integrated into culture. Like, aliens existing, Xavier, would just be part of, like, everyday culture. It's not that they wouldn't care. They would be politically apathetic to aliens, but that's not the same thing as, like, not caring. I have a theory Comrade has to mention. It's a good theory. Oh, dear. It isn't a part of culture as RTD has not shown that. Exactly. I don't know, that the resolution for the status quo problem is to have more historical companions. It's true. The only culture we see is our culture. Well, I mean, you got to reflect the great British public, don't ya? Don't ya? Alright, let's spot this one. The ad's now hungry. Random page! Oh god. It's a random page and I have hiccups. This is going to be a good one. Okay. Random page! The John Pertwee Years Behind the Scenes Volume 1. The John Pertwee Years Behind the Scenes Volume 1 was a DVD box set in the Doctors series released in 2021. That's it. There is approximately 0% development of the repercussions apart from random references that make everything seem poorly written. I mean, the next episode is in Africa. We could see something new with that. Who's writing the next episode? Who is writing the Nancy episode of Docky Who? Oh, cool. Not Russell T. Davis. What else have they done? Oh. I have heard rumors and I'm scared something is going to steal that episode's funder, something beginning with R. Oh, do you mean the Rani? Because we all know the Rani is going to be in it. Okay. Huh. That's very interesting. This person has never done TV before. Oh. That could be really fresh. He's the first black man to have ever written for Doctor Who. What an embarrassment for Doctor Who. Rani, a bi-generated Rani. Alright. I see an issue. Is if Mrs. Flood is the Rani, I see a big issue with that. Because the Rani has very specific characterization and Mrs. Flood hasn't shown any of that characterization. In fact, all of their characterization that they've shown thus far has been at odds with the Rani. So, if it turns out it is the Rani, they got a lot of explaining to do, and I'm expecting her personality to do a 180 flip. And if they don't, I'm disappointed. The Rani is a fucking scientist. They care about science. They care about the acquisition of knowledge. Why are they doing any of this Mrs. Flood bullshit? Why? And nobody will care. It's the first black writer ever goes fanwhite, pure golden fanwhite. Remember the characters from the show history. Do you feel nostalgic? Here's the fucking Rani. I hope not. I really, 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 really hope not. I really hope not. I'm like terrified of that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm also like, I have concerns about one thing with the next episode. I have one concern about the next episode, and that's that, so in the behind the scenes video for The Well, Russell T Davies talked about how The Well was originally supposed to include the Orisha, deities from African folklore that Ncuti Gatwa was very, very passionate about being included in the show. However, Russell nixed the idea of the Orisha because he couldn't find a way to quote-unquote turn them into Doctor Who villains. Okay? And so he went with wanking off his own ego instead, which, if it turned out was the real reason Ncuti left the show, wouldn't surprise me. Here's the thing. I'm really concerned that this upcoming episode with Anansi is going to just depict Anansi as a generic Doctor Who monster. It's a big concern of mine because he's already said on video that that's the only way he could think about these kind of folklore figures. It's the only context he could think about them in is as generic Doctor Who monsters. So, I am worried. Once Upon a Time Bad Wolf was well integrated into the episodes. In The Empty Child, it was named for the German bomb, it written in German, aka it as subtle. The thing for me is that Anansi is like a trickster deity. Anansi's whole thing is using their intellect and their smarts and their wits to outwit like more powerful, bigger opponents. So there's an inherent mirror there with the Doctor. And my biggest fear is that they just... Anansi's basically Brer Rabbit. Yeah, my biggest fear is that they're just going to turn Anansi into a big Doctor Who monster that goes... Rah, rah, and they're going to reveal that it was an ancient alien the whole time. It's a big worry of mine. Alright, I've just got here thoughts on The Well and Lucky Day. I talked about The Well before. Have you seen Event Horizon? I don't like The Well much, and I don't like Lucky Day much. I haven't liked the season much, to be honest. It's gonna be the new form of the Trickster. Xavier, that made me throw up in my mouth a little bit. I actually feel nauseous now. Like actually nauseous at the thought of that. Lucky You Day was the only ep of the season so far I didn't like. That's fair. If you like the season, you like the season. I just don't. Hope they don't do that. Oh God. That makes me want to cry. That makes me want to cry. If he does that, if he does make Anansi the trickster, I'm gonna stop saying that he has a problem with writing black characters, and I'm just going to start calling him racist. Like straight up. Like straight up. Xavier, what have you done? No, he ain't gonna do it. If he does, then that's the red line crossed. This season is frustrating as its production quality is good, but the writing is debatable. I just think it's bad, to be honest. I think the production quality is okay, but I think that the writing is just bad. Nah, he ain't gonna do it. This is the guy who put Martha and Mickey together, even though they never interacted once on screen, because they just belong together. This is the guy who thought that a good idea for the first Black Doctor Who companion was to give them an entire arc about being second best to the white blonde companion. This is the guy who did all of that, so I don't know, man. I don't know if he's the guy. Russell Cartman, the just belonging together thing. Literally, yeah, I made a joke about that a couple of episodes ago, about the fact that Russell T Davies was Cupid Mead. Mickey and Martha. Yeah, this is the guy who tried to sneak the N-word into a New Who script. Like, yeah. I'm not talking about the racist stuff. I just don't think he'd do that. I think he would do that. I think he would do that. I think he would absolutely do that. He would do that. He would do that. He would do that. This is the guy who was asked to write a story about the Orisha as a personal request from Ncuti Gatwa and then made it all about himself. Like, he absolutely would do that. Yes. I don't know. And now I've got more viewers than I normally do. I don't think he's racist. I think he's very ignorant. Me too. Me too. I don't actually think he's a racist. I just think he's horrible at writing black people. He has an ongoing season arc about gods. One of them said gods is the trickster. Well, no. He's racist in an I would have voted for Obama 3 times kind of way. Ryan, what do you think of racism? Good, bad, or unsure? I think racism is very bad. I also think that there's different forms of racism that vary in severity. He's a type 2. We need a black showrunner. I couldn't agree more, Kaka Queen. I completely agree. We need a showrunner who's black and young, ideally. What god is the Doctor? I always liked the idea that the Doctor was Nyarlathotep, personally. Or Luke. If you're gonna go down like old like real world deities, I would say probably Luke is like the closest. We need a showrunner who's not a life's champion at all. The god of life? I like that. I like that. I like that because it's the god of life just wants to live their life and they keep getting pulled into all of this shit. I'm into that. I'm into that. I don't think the Doctor is a god though. I think the Doctor is more of like an Odysseus figure. I feel like the Doctor is more of like a classical hero with like a trickster twinge. I think they work better in that context than they do as like a god. Pete McTeague, more like Pete McTired. Pete McTeague, he's middle-aged, isn't he? The Doctor is the Mr. Stink of the universe. I think it's really funny that after I said I'm probably not actually racist, 3 of you dropped out, by the way. It's really funny. Oh, you're all back now. Great. Can we spin again? Yeah, we can spin again. We can spin again. Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Do you guys want to do write a Doctor Who from scratch tomorrow, by the way? That's it. That's where we draw the line. It's just the Feast of Stephen again. Clearly the wheel doesn't want us talking about anything other than this episode. I'll do it again. Well, I haven't really done them before, but the Batman one was alright. The Batman one was alright. It's another old page that I couldn't get rid of in time. Oh no! It is annoying, as I've suggested many good pages. I'm sorry. Dirk Gently, we already looked at this one as well. Okay. Let's take a look. When are we doing Popeye the Sailorpedia Roulette? Home Assistant V14. This is a new one. Oh my god. Wait. We've done this one too. It's just fucking repeating spins.
Yeah, baby.
God damn it. We have done this one, yeah. Belinda Chandra. Let's take a look. All right. Alan, are you related to RTD? You're just repeating yourself. The topic of God's laughter of the daughter of the God's audio story. I'll pop that one in. I like Belinda as well. I think Belinda's a good companion. Okay. Alright, let's see. Belinda Chandra was a human nurse who became an unwilling companion of the 15th Doctor. He first met her when she was abducted in space by the inhabitants of a star system which had been named after her as an unlikely consequence of her controlling adolescent boyfriend, Alan Budd, buying her a novelty star certificate many years prior. Although Belinda had no desire to become the Doctor's companion, viewing him as dangerously self-confident, the Doctor was keen to keep her aboard. This was partly due to the Doctor having recently met Mundy Flynn, an apparent descendant of Belinda's who was puzzlingly similar to her despite being from the distant 51st century. The choice to travel on the TARDIS was ultimately made for Belinda when the pair discovered that a mysterious force was bouncing them off 2025 Earth, where the Doctor reluctantly tried to return there. Awesome, we have an all-POC TARDIS team. That is pretty cool. We need to get that for Doctor again. Are they fighting again? Babe?
What?
Are the cats fighting again?
Yeah.
Eleanor! Eleanor! Elizabeth! Elizabeth! Hang on. What are you two doing? Elizabeth. Yeah, come on. Come on, this way, girl. This way, girl. Yeah, take yourself out of that situation. Come on. Say hi to everyone. Come on, you can do Tardis Wiki Roulette with me. Yeah, that's perfect. Hi. Say hi to everyone. Yeah, I hate this. I hate this. You're such a good girl. Yeah. In 2008, she was dating Alan Budd. For her birthday, he got her a star certificate, naming a star in the constellation Orion after her. Whoa! Whoa, what are you doing, girl? You can't get through that window. She's nothing like... Hang on. Let me help you. There you go. There you go. My cat likes to sit in the window. Hello. Alright, it is heavily rumoured Mrs. Flood is the Rani, which I hate. Why do your cats' names go on? Because all of our cats are queens, so we name them after queens. We used to have a cat called Victoria, because all they do is sit around, eat all of our stuff, and commit war crimes. Can we save the outrage over Mrs. Flood until after the supposed reveal, please? Yeah, that's a good idea. Everyone needs to bottle it up, put it close to your heart. No, the fallout and controversy is so bad it is falling backwards in time. Okay. Belinda was weirded out by the certificate, including the title Miss, and broke up with Alan not long after he proposed to her and attempted to insist she wear looser clothing and not use the telephone after 8 p.m. In 2025, Belinda was a nurse working at the Able Free Hospital in London and living in a house with several flatmates, including Tombo and Christine. She was not in a relationship. In late May of that year, the 15th Doctor came to the hospital in search of Belinda, having been told that she was going to be important. The Doctor had also previously encountered Belinda's identical descendant, Mundy Flynn, on Castarian 3 in the 51st century. The Doctor, however, just missed Belinda at the hospital as she was treating patients. Belinda was told by Stefan Haynes that a doctor was looking for her, but she dismissed it as just part of the job on her way home. Never I am a Doctor Who fan, I'm always outraged. Belinda was awoken by the sound of a rocket waking in her back garden. Going downstairs to investigate, Belinda was shocked when the robots on board burst into the house, destroying the back door. Belinda was kidnapped by the Miss Belinda Chandra bots and was taken to Miss Belinda Chandra 1 to be installed as their queen. Along the way, she experienced the time fracture. She was greeted by Sasha55, who asked her to help them upon telling her about the oppression of the populace by the bots, before being forced to marry the AI generator. Yeah, this is just a recap. This is just a recap. Is there anything interesting on here? No? No, I'm Comrade, you got me. Wow, sorry about your arm. Okay.
Yeah, baby.
Let's just spin again, fuck it. Let's get away from here. Arcs! Oof. Also, right, why did Ruby not kick him in the nuts? Why did Ruby not kick him in the nuts? That's a good question. That's a good question. She really got reduced to nothing but a victim in that story. It was really not a good Ruby episode. She didn't even get to, like, take back control or anything. Kate just resolved it for her, really. I thought it was weird that the doctor popped in just to, like, yell at the dude after the day had already been saved. Just I put my 2 cents in.
Yeah, baby.
Let Anya Taylor-Joy advise RTD in writing women. Necros Streets Doctor Who advertisement. Oh well. At least we can thank RTD for making it very, 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 very clear that Kate Stewart is into men. If nothing else. The tradition, the Chris Chibnall tradition of straightening out Doctor Who characters. Oh dear. Straight left Bridge Stewart. I think it's weird because, like, Kate Stewart was imported from the BBV stuff where she was very clearly a gay woman, and yet it's hard to even say that she's bisexual now because there has not been a single reference to Kate Stewart being into women. There have been quite a few references of her being into men, though. It is clear RTD is a man as there is a decided lack of feminine rage. I agree. I agree with that. Completely. Kate gives me tough vibes. A little bit, yeah. James Goss. We did that one too. Alright, let's go again. Alright, DWA 313, short story. Man, Rose should have been a full-time companion. I agree. I agree. Alright, let's see. That would require courage. You know what? You know what? I think that Russell owes the Loki showrunners an apology. That's what I think. I think it's really funny that he had all of that shit to say about Loki and then turned around and, like, ironed out Kate Stewart. This was presumably split from something longer. Maybe. The 98th installment of Hello was published in DWA 313. The Doctor asked the readers if they've been doing anything exciting, and he says he's been up to the usual, including, this is clearly Cybermen, saving planets from zombie robots, visiting a universe made out of butter, trying to spring clean the whole TARDIS. The Doctor finally wishes the reader to enjoy the New Look magazine. The Doctor finds trying to spring clean the whole TARDIS to be a rather tiring time. 11th Doctor jump scare. Remember this guy? Remember this guy? Man. The 11th Doctor might be the Doctor I think about the least. I feel like he was unfortunate to be between 10 and 12. Oh dear. Oof. I think. Oof. 5 is underrated? No, he's not. No, he's not. There has actually been a large lack of 11th Doctor content in recent years, that's true. Party Killer Bat, Accelerator, short story. Of all the Doctors, 5 is the one that's just kind of there for me. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. This is an issue I have with the Whittaker Doctor as well, to be fair. I find the 5th Doctor entirely too passive in the story. I feel like a lot of 5th Doctor stories don't need to have the Doctor in them. And it frustrates me. This has no results. Am I putting it in wrong or something? Maybe I'm putting it in wrong. Yes, I am. No, he's better than 4. That's okay for me. Don't know why I did that, but okay. It's okay. Actually, that's surprising. 11 was very popular during his era, but people have just borderline forgotten about him. True. There we go. We found it. I think another thing for me with 5 is that I never got the vibe that he actually enjoyed traveling with his companions. It always kind of seemed like he silently resented everyone that he traveled with. That was something I always had a lot of trouble getting around. This story was notable for being the first appearance of Theo Possible and Kelsey, who would later make several other appearances, with Kelsey playing a major role in the novel Weapons Grade Snake Oil. On the cusp of Night and Day, Iris Wildtype and Panda trundle their way through thick grey mud, following directions written on the back of a cigarette packet to the Zona Oscura Festival. They arrive at their destination with a doorman granting them access and giving them VIP lanyards. 5 felt like all of his stories could have been written for any other Doctor. He's like a placeholder Doctor. I don't like saying that though, because Peter was very nice to my friend at a con. It's okay. Remember that the Doctor and the actor are two very, 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 very different things. I mean, I like the 11th Doctor, and Matt Smith is a Tory, and I'm able to tolerate that. So, you know, it's fine. I like the first Doctor, but I feel like I would have gotten in a fight with William Hartnell at a Wendy's car park. I like the second Doctor, but I would have crushed Patrick Troughton's testicles for, like, ruining his family's life. It is what it is. I think I would have gotten well with Pertwee, though. You're able to Tory rate that? Not a Dunkin' Donuts car park. You don't start fights in a Dunkin' Donuts car park, okay? Those Dunkin' workers work very hard and they don't need the stress. They get enough of it at work. You do it in a Wendy's car park, because Wendy's people are down to squabble. They love that shit. You're able to Tory rate that, yes. I think Bill Hartnell would have been chill, but with no filter. I don't know, to be honest. I think Tom Baker would have been unbearable to spend time with when he was young. In terms of which classic Who Doctors seem like they would have actually been really chill and, like, okay to hang out with, 5, 6, and 7 all seem absolutely lovely. William Hartnell, you had to catch him on a good day. Patrick Troughton, as long as you don't bring up the family, I'm sure he was okay. Speaking about Tom Baker, right? I discovered a diva moment of his. What was the diva moment? Also, I don't know what Pat did, but I don't want to know because he's one of my favorites and I can't handle that. I'll send the details of the Discord server. Okay, send the details. Two families. Yeah, no. Patrick Troughton, like, cheated on his wife a lot. And I don't like that. So, that's Tom Baker group wanking session. I think with Tom Baker, it depends on how long he's been in the role. By the way, everyone, check the casting call in the check the casting call in the Discord. We're casting for a Something Blue audio. You should check it out. Kako Queen, I don't know what to know about that, Nasha, so you see. After a while of walking, Iris finds a place to sit down, meeting Derek and Mavis. Talking to them, they reveal that they've been exactly where they are for as long as they could remember in order to enjoy every performance of the All-Star Dance Company. Mavis suddenly accuses Iris of knowing her husband previously, startling Iris. Concurrently, where the doorman dissolved, a new entity forms, the Beast, and it violently charges into the festival in order to devour and feed. Panda gets acquainted with Carmen, and Iris then resumes her journey to the other side of the festival. I like how they don't even care. They don't even care that a monster is rampaging. It's fucking great. Sylvester! Sylvester! I love Sylvester. Sylvester seems like he'd be really nice. I don't have anything bad to say about Sylvester. I don't know. He's the only Doctor Who who's like a hero in real life. And I think that's important to remember about Sylvester. Also, this Kelsey is heavily implied to be Kelsey Hoomer. I don't like Rihanna. I don't like Rihanna too. I'm pretty sure she's a drug lord. But I do like Sylvester McCoy. What did Sylvester do? Nothing. I've never heard a bad thing about Sylvester McCoy. Sylvester McCoy. What about John Pertwee? I've heard John Pertwee was a very nice man, but was also very difficult. And if you got on his bad side, like, watch out. But in most of the cases I've heard about that, like, he had a good reason. You said he's a hero. Oh, what? Sylvester McCoy? He saved Sophie Aldred's life on the set of Battlefield. You know that scene in Battlefield where they're in King Arthur's tomb and Sophie Aldred is in the water and it's like she's pretend drowning. Well, there was an exposed wire on set and I think the thing locked and she either almost got electrocuted or she almost drowned. But Sylvester McCoy was like screaming at the crew to let her out and like got her out. So yeah, Sylvester McCoy is actually a real hero in real life. So is John Pertwee. John Pertwee was one of the real life inspirations for James Bond alongside Roald Dahl and Christopher Lee. I feel like that's one thing we can give RTD, at least he is a JNC. Didn't he kill Nazis or something? John Pertwee killed a lot of Nazis. Like a lot. I wish that Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare film had been like accurate and it was about Christopher Lee, John Pertwee, Peter Cushing and Roald Dahl like fighting Nazis together. I think that would have been a lot better. Did you know that Roald Dahl was a honeypot? Did you know that it was Roald Dahl's job in the war to, like, fuck society ladies and get information out of them? What is it with showrunners with just initials ending in T and being awful? I feel like that's one thing we can give RTD, at least he isn't JNT. That's true. That's true. We assume. That's true. Keep reading, please. Okay. Iris tries to use her whatchamacallit, but as it gives off odd readings, she assumes it's glitching due to being wet. She heads inside a tent to dry it off, encountering an audience of robot cyborgs and outdated servo furnishings. They're watching a display of poeticnology being performed by a simple fax machine. In one corner of the tent, a cyborg burns its mouth with a blowtorch, and Iris asks it to let her use the tool. And they're both gay. That's unfortunate. We need a good gay showrunner. That is true as well. The cyborg explains to Iris that he didn't exist before she arrived. I would say we had a good gay showrunner and it was RTD the first time. I just feel like he's fucking it up now. But she's preoccupied with other matters, leaving the cyborg and its existence ceases. Kelsey finds the beast tearing and eating the wings of a small troubadour at Stone Circle, and it introduces itself at the VIP tent. Barrowman, I'm assuming... Yeah, I know. I meant the episodes. Obviously, Russell horribly mismanaged the first few seasons of Doctor Who and, like, let sex pests run rampant. However, I have been meaningfully informed that they only targeted actors, not crew. Sorry, no, they only targeted crew, and crew aren't really considered people in the TV industry. They should make me showrunner. I'd be so good at the show. I mean, a good person too. That is ideal, yes. They absolutely targeted actors. I know. I was just gabbling. I think it's to be honest, it makes it difficult to watch the early episodes of Doctor Who, knowing like how much bad stuff happened behind the scenes. Makes it very difficult to watch Doctor Who. At the VIP set, Ted, Iris sees the biggest mirror ball that she had ever seen, and she asks an octopus-like creature who is in charge. It replies, telling her about VO Possible. The Beast finds Panda and Carmen traps the Beast under the metal shutter, making Panda reluctantly search for help. Panda arrives at the VIP set where Iris is trying to get Theo's attention. The Beast arrives, bringing Carmen with them, and the Beast reveals Iris never made it to the party. Doctor Who run by the fans, how would it turn out? Awful. The previous night, Iris had intended to go out, but had instead spent the night with Panda watching David Attenborough. In the tape, there was a remnant of an old advert from which an idea of the Beast lodged in Iris' subconscious. Kelsey realizes they aren't in the material world, which the Beast, or rather Jimmy the Mandrill, confirms. Panda goes out to grab Carmen's hand, but she flings... You know, honestly, you know who I would have liked to have seen given a shot at showrunning Doctor Who, and who has expressed interest in showrunning Doctor Who? J. Michael Straczynski. I would be interested, because he's not really a fan, and he made Babylon 5, and Babylon 5 was really good until it wasn't, and I don't know, I feel like he'd be a good choice. Doctor Who 9/11 fan film. To be fair, Cargo Queen, that kind of dodgy shit happens in the popular Doctor Who fan films as well. Did you know that in the DW 2012 universe, the Trickster caused the COVID pandemic as a joke? That's canon to that world. Everyone does it. Ironically, I think a focus on the US a little more might help Doctor Who, since there's so much to mine. I agree. Najawin, I cannot tell you how much I agree. Literally not a fan film, aliens have loved. Like, the Weather Underground is super interesting and not touched. That's true. There's loads of folk tales and stuff you could do as well. Can we just make a rule right now that it shouldn't be an old white man unless it's me? That would be me. Well, except for Kablam. I mean, there's lots to do in the UK, but it requires going outside of people's comfort zones. You're not old, Ryan. Don't worry. Okay, good. When do I become old? When do I become an old white man? Let's do a pure historical about Margaret Thatcher. Grey hair. I have got grey hairs. I have a few grey hairs. I can't wait to go grey around the temples. That's what I can't wait for. I'm gonna look like Reed Richards. I'm gonna be so sexy. Legitimately, I don't think it would be a terrible idea. I think it would be good too. Crazy how they haven't really done a feudal Japan episode yet. Kako Queen, that's on my list of episodes I would do if I was showrunner. I would want to do a pure historical about Miyamoto Musashi, and I would have literally the entire thing be this nice drama about Musashi deciding to hang up the sword and pursue art instead. And it would be about the Doctor and Musashi, these two legends who are like undefeatable masters at what they do, just sitting down and trying to relate to each other. That's what I would like. And you don't even need it to be big budget, because you could set the whole thing in one fucking room. Not Miyazaki, Musashi. Miyamoto Musashi. The greatest samurai that ever lived. That's what I would like to do. If that's my feudal Japan Doctor Who story, I would just do the Doctor and Miyamoto Musashi just chilling. Damn, didn't know Miyazaki was... Stop saying that! I don't mean the fucking Studio Ghibli guy. That's a little more nuanced than my idea, Samurai and Sontaran Yaoi, but I really like that idea. I also want to do a Sontaran Yaoi! Oh my god, Kako Queen, write for me. I also want to do a story about two Sontarans who fall in love and their society forbids it and they rise above it. I want Dan Starkey to put his arm around Dan Starkey and go, "We are boyfriends now." I want it. I want it so much. That's genuinely one of the... I wanted to do it as a Valentine's special last year. Unironically. Also, you had a trans Sontaran episode? Let's go. Miyazaki-style episode about planes being noble creatures who throw themselves into the ocean as the world is deteriorating. Oh god. What else would I like to do? We should give up on the page. What's his name? Hang on, I want to know his name. Hang on, there's one other one I really wanted to do. We should give up on this page. What's the guy's name? Hang on. Gerald Gardner. I want to do a historical about Gerald Gardner's World War II ritual. I want to do a story about that. For those who don't know, ask me. Check the message on Discord. Okay, mate, I'll do that. I'll do that. I'm going to roll down to the behind the scenes stuff on this page because there's always good stuff on there. Oh! During the filming of Horror of Fam Rock, Tom Baker was unhappy about filming in Birmingham and in an awkward mood kept botching a scene. In frustration, director Paddy Russell gave camera focus to Louise Jameson. Baker's behaviour annoyed some of the crew and he also blamed some of the cast members when he forgot his line. Ryan, all of those would be interesting. Doctor Who historicals can't be interesting. Right, so check this, Nick Simmons. Doesn't this sound like an amazing idea for a Doctor Who episode? Okay. I really want to do the magic is real thing in Doctor Who, but like properly, because I'm into magic. I'm actually like a neo-pagan and stuff. I do rituals myself. Gerald Gardner was the guy who founded Wicca, the modern religion Wicca, and during World War II, he and a bunch of his other like neo-occultist friends got together and performed a ritual, and the terms of the ritual was that bastard Hitler would never ever set boots on the ground in the UK. And the ritual was just them all getting together in a field and chanting the words, "Not here, not here." And apparently it was so strenuous that 2 of them died. Okay? And what I think is interesting about this story is that it worked. Hitler never actually managed to land in the UK. Now that's probably a coincidence, but if you want to do a Doctor Who story about the Doctor's relationship with magic, I think that would be a really interesting place to go. That would be my other suggestion for an English historical Doctor Who episode. Anyway. It does piss me off that there has been the whole of zero pagan representation in the show. No, I find it really insulting that magic has been reduced to, oh, it's this wonderful thing that means that stories don't have to have rules anymore. I'm very clever. I hate that shit. I hate that shit so much. Considering you're literally using my religious beliefs as a storytelling tool, I hate it. I hate it a lot. Like a lot, Xavier. Like a lot. I can't tell you how much I hate that aspect of it. Especially because, like, I don't know, if you use real pagan stuff, there's some really interesting shit. RTD doesn't care about your religious beliefs. I know. My mom is a pagan, so I'm aware of all the crap. Okay, you get it. You get it. I also want to write an episode with Romani Rep because, let's be honest, we need to throw them a fucking bone. Oh dear. I'm gonna spend like 100 pages next week to make up for this week, I think. Unless the episode's bad, then you're fucked. Alright. One more spin, and then I'm going. Because I need to eat before my next stream. House disambiguation. Fuck. She was never progressive, people just couldn't read subject. Oh, this is a short page? Oh, okay. No way, Dr. House. House has had several meanings, just the word uses of the word house in Doctor. Fuck's sake. It doesn't help that the pages are always shit like this. That's all it's been today. God damn it. Fun fact, there's a whole Doctor. Who added this? I don't know. This is very weird though. Gregory House. Why is there a House Lolita? Why is this a thing? What's going on here? Is this a Lawrence Miles thing? Oh, sentient humanoid timeship. There's a whole Doctor House episode where he proves asexuality isn't real. I'm sure it has nothing to do with problematic stuff as though. She is nowadays called Lilith. I think it's really funny. I think it's really funny that they went from let's name them. Let's name them. Let's name them after the titular character of a book about how a man has depraved PDF file lusts for a 12-year-old girl. Let's name them after the 12-year-old girl. Oh, that's problematic. People might think that I'm into some dodgy stuff. Or at the very least, people might think I'm misogynistic. I know. Let's rename her and name her after the whore that seduced Adam. Check the flight logs. Check the flight logs, indeed. Okay. Oh dear. In other news, before I go, we're doing Right From Scratch tomorrow. And tonight I'm doing Pokemon Uranium on Twitch, so make sure to follow my Twitch and go watch me play Pokemon Uranium tonight in like an hour and a half. It should be a good time. I got like 6 gym badges now. I'm doing great. But also, go check General. Oh, okay, I'm going to check General right. Oh. Wait. There are 2 books whose final lines make me cry without fail, irrespective of how many times I read them, and one is Lolita. There is so much I could say about this book. There just isn't enough time to describe a plot that could have been the most worthless pornography becomes in Nabokov's hands. A great and tragic love story! And I could exhaust my reservoir of superlatives trying to describe the quality of Why are transphobes always pedophiles? What is it about being a transphobe that makes you also a pedophile? I would really like to know. That's probably real life politics, but I don't care. Imagine describing Lolita as a love story. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm going now. Also, oh god, what? Go on then, you got me for another minute. What is it? You had me for 1 more minute, Xavier. Do it. Make it a good one, eh? Also, what, Xavier? Also, I'm going. I'm going. I have to go and have dinner. I'm giving you 10 more seconds. Oh, come on. Cliffhanger. I'm giving you 10 more seconds. Do it. This filter? What filter? Is it giving you trouble writing the words? Is that what's going on here? Say it on Discord. If you say it on Discord, I'll still read it out. It's fine. Do it! The suspense. I know! Do it. Say it on Discord. You're killing all of us, not least me. Scream at the mic loudly, Ryan. Ah! There you go. I bet that was so loud. I'm still not seeing it. New wake up alarm. Weird Al moment. I know. Welcome Tardis ASMR Roulette with me, your host. We're waiting right now for Xavier to write his thing on the mic. And then when he puts his thing in the chat, I'm going to read it. Oh, it looks like they posted it in the chat. I'm going to read it now. This is disturbing scream again. One of these women's rights advocates was actually arrested for child abuse. Oh! It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Sorry, didn't mean to send that while I'm watching it.
What are you gonna do, big guy? Shit on me? What up?
It's pretty good though. Keep it in there, Cargo Queen. Alright, I'm going now. On that bombshell, I'm leaving. Bye!